This evening on Dinar Shift, we bring you an urgent announcement that has been circulating with increasing intensity across the international financial landscape. A key transitional phase for specific global currencies, long debated among small and large-scale currency holders, now appears to be moving from a theoretical possibility to an imminent reality. The financial world is pivoting, and with this shift comes the anticipated window for what is being called a contract rate exchange. The message is simple yet profound. Preparation will be the single greatest determinant of who participates in this premium process and who does not. For those holding currencies like the Iraqi Dinar, the Vietnamese Dong, or the Zimbabwean Zim, the time for organization is no longer a future consideration, but a present imperative. Experts are issuing a clear caution that any hesitation or lack of readiness could result in a significant missed opportunity, distinguishing between those poised for an extraordinary financial transaction and those who are ultimately left with standard market value. The infrastructure for this exchange mechanism is reportedly reaching its final stages, with redemption centers moving toward activation and the necessary banking protocols being finalized behind the scenes. Multiple credible financial sources suggest that the forthcoming redemption phase is designed to be highly structured and notably selective. The much-discussed contract rate is not a mere rumor. It represents a premium exchange value that will be strictly reserved for individuals who have been fully vetted and who meet a distinct set of operational and ethical requirements. These premium rates are widely expected to exceed the standard street exchange values and are often said to be associated with commitments to humanitarian causes, post-conflict reconstruction efforts, or structured long-term reinvestment initiatives. The core understanding being communicated across advisory networks is clear. This specialized process is built to reward the diligent and the prepared, not the spontaneous or the disorganized. Every currency holder is strongly advised to consolidate all necessary documentation, authenticate their holdings, and establish a clear plan for the responsible use of any new wealth. Disorganization at the appointment stage is a major factor that analysts warn could lead to immediate delays or, in some cases, outright disqualification from premium rate access. Therefore, the essential first step on any readiness checklist is meticulous documentation. Every individual must possess and organize multiple forms of current valid government identification, such as a passport, driver's license, or national ID card. Crucially, the process demands irrefutable proof of legal currency acquisition, which includes original purchase receipts, transaction records, or a notarized affidavit verifying legitimate ownership. Further bolstering credibility requires providing current address verification, typically through utility bills, tax statements, or similar official correspondence. The financial institutions involved in executing these large-scale redemptions are expected to conduct a comprehensive review of the investor's banking history, existing account structures, and know your customer (KYC) compliance records. Those with incomplete, questionable, or fragmented historical data will face significant hurdles in qualifying for the top-tier offers. This stringent approach is engineered to deter fraudulent activity and ensure that the premium access is granted only to individuals who approach the process with demonstrable integrity and attention to procedural detail. Moving beyond the paperwork, the second critical pillar of readiness is presentation, specifically, how an investor manages the high-stakes environment of a redemption appointment. These exchanges are expected to be tightly controlled, highly secure, and extremely time-efficient. Investors must be ready to demonstrate not only verifiable ownership of their currency, but also a clear and professional capacity to handle significant financial transactions with responsibility. Experts universally recommend creating a highly organized system where all required files, both physical copies and digital backups, are meticulously organized and labeled in distinct folders. The ability to produce any document instantly will be a major advantage. Furthermore, many analysts suggest preparing a concise, practice-ready 2-minute explanation of your intended reinvestment strategy or humanitarian project. This brief proposal must be clear, articulate, and demonstrate a responsible alignment with goals for financial development and community impact. The smooth, professional execution of your presentation is, in essence, a reflection of your capacity for responsible wealth management, a quality that will be closely assessed by the financial staff conducting the exchange. The third vital element on the preparation checklist involves mindset and discipline. Analysts consistently stress that securing access to the contract rate will necessitate a calm, professional, and composed demeanor from the investor. The staff conducting the redemption appointments are specifically trained to evaluate not just the paperwork, but also the behavior and overall organization of the currency holder. Any display of impatience, disarray, or an argumentative attitude is likely to be flagged, potentially characterizing the investor as a higher risk and resulting in an offer of only the standard non-premium market value. This is explicitly not a routine visit to a local bank branch. It is a meticulously managed strategic financial process operating under stringent security protocols, maintaining clarity of thought, composure under pressure, and a high degree of professionalism throughout the appointment is considered a fundamental condition for being granted premium access. Separating the successful exchange outcome from a more standard 1. Another non-negotiable component for those seeking the premium exchange is a full understanding of the non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, that will inevitably be part of the transaction. Participants who are granted access to the higher non-standard rates will almost certainly be required to sign legally binding NDAs. These agreements are crucial for maintaining market stability and preventing sensitive information from being leaked prematurely. Financial analysts strongly advise investors to treat these documents with the utmost seriousness, reading and understanding every single clause and its implications. Violating the terms of an NDA can result in severe legal penalties, up to and including the forfeiture of exchanged funds. Absolute confidentiality and discretion following the transaction are not merely strong suggestions. They are the fundamental conditions that underpin the ability to participate in and benefit from the contract rate opportunity. Maintaining silence is the price of admission to the exclusive tier of this financial process, the upcoming contract rate. Opportunity will strongly favor individuals who have diligently conducted their research into the specific participating financial institutions. Available information suggests that the authority to offer these premium rates may be exclusively held by major Tier 1 global banks that possess sophisticated wealth management divisions and a history of handling complex international transactions. Smaller regional or local banks may only be equipped to facilitate standard, non-premium exchanges. Therefore, a critical step is identifying which institutions are designated and prepared for the complex redemption processing. Knowing how to correctly contact the designated private client desks or specialized wealth management departments at these major banks will be paramount. Investors must be able to distinguish between legitimate, authorized redemption centers and unauthorized exchange schemes or individuals attempting to solicit currency without institutional backing. This diligence protects against financial loss. A persistent and critical concern on the readiness checklist is the need for constant vigilance against fraud and scams. As the excitement and anticipation surrounding the event build, opportunists will inevitably increase their efforts to exploit investors. Warnings are circulating about fake offers, counterfeit appointment notices, and suspicious requests to ship or mail currency in advance of any official in-person verification. Financial authorities explicitly caution that no legitimate redemption center or authorized banking representative will ever request a currency holder to mail their notes ahead of a verified in-person exchange appointment. Every investor must take the time to verify the identity and credentials of any intermediary, group, or service that claims to be arranging private, exclusive appointments. Trust in this environment must be grounded in official documentation and institutional authorization, not based on verbal assurances or unverified promises. The safest and most secure path is always direct communication with authorized banking personnel once the official procedures are publicly announced and confirmed. The comprehensive preparation process must also include the development of a realistic and structured reinvestment or humanitarian proposal. Many financial observers believe that the criteria for granting contract rate eligibility may prioritize currency holders who can clearly demonstrate a commitment to utilizing their new capital for socially beneficial projects. This could encompass a wide spectrum of initiatives, such as funding education programs, supporting healthcare facilities, contributing to community infrastructure development, or investing in environmental restoration efforts. Presenting a coherent plan acts as a powerful signal that the investor intends to manage their significant new wealth with a productive and civic-minded approach. Creating a concise, well-written outline of the intended project is strongly advised, clearly displaying seriousness and an alignment with broader economic recovery and development objectives. A well-articulated proposal immediately sets an investor apart from the crowd. Experts suggest that the written proposal should be concise, ideally no more than 2 pages in length, and should maintain a laser focus on the project's measurable impact, its operational structure, and its clear, achievable outcomes. The purpose is not to overwhelm the evaluators with grandiose, unfeasible promises, but rather to exhibit a serious commitment to readiness and financial accountability. An investor who arrives at their appointment with a well-structured, professionally presented project document immediately makes a strong positive impression on the redemption officers. This document should include estimated budgets, realistic timeframes for execution, and a clear articulation of the positive effects the project is expected to have on job creation, community well-being, or economic stability. This demonstrates a thoughtful and mature perspective toward the potential new wealth. Further enhancing the proposal's professionalism, some seasoned advisors recommend preparing a very brief executive summary, perhaps a single paragraph or a bulleted list, that can be quickly reviewed by redemption officers during the limited appointment time. This summary provides an immediate snapshot, allowing the evaluators to quickly gauge the investor's preparedness and the serious nature of their post-exchange plans at a glance. It serves as an instant display of organized foresight. This small detail of providing a readily digestible overview can be an unexpected advantage, ensuring that the essential details of your constructive intentions are not overlooked in the rush of a tightly scheduled appointment. Every element of the documentation process is designed to showcase an organized, responsible approach to wealth. Time management is another factor that is considered absolutely crucial for the checklist. Once the official redemption windows are announced, the appointments are expected to be scheduled in rapid succession and often in limited, controlled batches. Currency holders may receive notification through various secure channels, a dedicated phone call, a text message, or a secure email, all with a strict and non-negotiable time slot. The consequences of missing an appointment or even arriving significantly late could potentially lead to the forfeiture of the premium rate opportunity. This high-stakes scheduling is why experts emphasize that currency holders must maintain accessible, monitored communication channels and diligently track all official updates on a daily basis. Prepared investors are those who will already have pre-arranged transportation logistics, personal security arrangements, and backup schedules fully coordinated. This level of planning is necessary to guarantee that they can reach their designated redemption center precisely on time, regardless of unforeseen circumstances. The entire upcoming redemption period is anticipated to operate on a relentless, potentially round-the-clock schedule, but within highly secure and controlled environments. This non-stop operational pace underscores the need for personal organization and flexibility from every participant who hopes to gain premium access. Each individual exchange appointment is projected to be relatively brief, likely lasting somewhere between 20 to 40 minutes, depending on the complexity of the holdings and the required processing. Within this very tight time frame, investors must successfully navigate multiple stages: verification of personal identity, the rigorous authentication of the physical currency notes, and the signing of all necessary exchange and legal documents. Candidates who qualify for the contract rates may then be directed into separate, highly confidential areas for their specialized processing. Understanding this specific sequence of events before entering the center can significantly reduce confusion, save critical minutes, and project the highly valued image of a professional who is fully in control of their process. Analysts also emphasize that securing a SAO premium rate is merely the initial step of a much larger and more complex wealth management journey. Post-exchange financial structuring is of paramount importance. This subsequent phase should include immediate consultation with qualified legal advisors and tax professionals to develop a comprehensive plan. The creation of asset protection entities, such as various forms of trusts or limited liability companies, LLCs, is a key recommendation for safeguarding the new wealth. The first 90 days following a significant exchange are often cited as a period of potential market volatility and regulatory adjustment. Investors who delay in assembling an organized advisory team risk making costly errors in management or tax compliance, which could lead to substantial and avoidable losses. Establishing professional guidance early is the best defense against long-term instability, a factor that is frequently overlooked but critical. For long-term success is security, both personal and digital, once the funds have been successfully received. Investors must adopt and adhere to strict personal and financial protection measures immediately. Public discussion about the exchange, even in private circles, must be scrupulously avoided. All related documents, both digital and physical, should be kept in highly secure encrypted storage. Furthermore, consulting with cybersecurity experts regarding the protection of online banking platforms and digital assets is essential. Financial planners typically suggest diversifying the new funds across multiple secure financial institutions rather than concentrating everything into a single account. True wealth demands genuine responsibility, and the safeguarding of that wealth must become a non-negotiable daily habit starting from the moment the transaction is completed. Historical. Observers of major economic transitions and currency resets consistently note that the outcome is nearly always determined by timing and readiness. In the current scenario, the most disciplined and prepared participants are the ones who are expected to move first and secure their position, while those who procrastinate, express undue doubt, or delay their readiness will likely find that the opportunity has passed them by. The contract rate system is anticipated to operate on a model of limited quotas and a first-come, fully vetted access policy. Any delay in completing the preparation checklist can be directly translated into a significant financial opportunity lost. The most straightforward approach to maximizing potential benefits is to finalize the entire checklist now, well in advance of any official announcement. The core principle at the very heart of this entire process is that organization equals opportunity. Those who choose to approach this with the seriousness of a professional business operation are the ones who will be treated as professionals by the financial institutions involved. Conversely, those who approach the process with a casual or amateur attitude should expect a commensurate, non-premium outcome. The world of high finance ultimately rewards precise action and quiet, diligent preparation. A simple error, such as a single missing purchase receipt, an expired form of identification, or a failure to properly verify the authenticity of the currency notes, has the potential to determine whether an investor qualifies for the premium contract rates or is relegated to the standard exchange. Outcome: the comprehensive preparation checklist is far more than just a list of paperwork. It is, in effect, the roadmap to the desired financial transformation. Industry observers also offer a reminder that the real measure of success extends beyond immediate personal profit. Contract rate participants who commit to and execute plans for substantial reinvestment into areas like community upliftment, educational programs, or technology development are likely to see their capital multiply in ways that create a lasting, positive impact on society alongside their personal gains. Responsible reinvestment should ideally involve structured partnerships with reliable banks, governmental agencies, and established global organizations that prioritize sustainability, ethical practice, and transparency. By proactively demonstrating a clear foresight and a responsible sense of civic contribution, currency holders have the unique opportunity to transform a one-time currency exchange event into a powerful, enduring lifetime legacy. This perspective aligns with the requirements of the premium rate access. As the global financial system continues to move closer to the cusp of this potential major transition, remaining proactively informed and highly disciplined becomes absolutely vital for all currency holders. Virtually every credible financial advisor is now echoing the same warning. The window for these specialized contract rates will not remain open indefinitely. It will be a distinct period with a finite allocation. Once the established allocation quotas for the premium rates have been fully met, the contract rate phase is expected to close abruptly, with all subsequent participants receiving only the standard market exchange rates. There will be no mechanism for extensions, special considerations, or exceptions once the window is closed. The investors who act with urgency, demonstrable discipline, and absolute clarity in their preparation are the ones positioned to capture the full reward. All others, those who allow doubt, delay, or disorganization to govern their actions, will inevitably be left with the regret of a major missed opportunity. In final conclusion, the message is starkly clear. Hesitation now could mean missing out on a unique financial moment. The contract rate opportunity is a documented reality, but access to it is strictly reserved for the fully prepared. Therefore, the only correct action is to review your readiness checklist today. Verify your identification documents, confirm the legitimacy of your currency holdings, finalize the details of your reinvestment proposal, and maintain absolute silence and discretion regarding your plans. When the official notification arrives, you must be ready to step forward with unwavering confidence, because in this moment of financial history, there is simply no margin for hesitation. The critical moment is fast approaching. The stage for this transition is being set globally, and your current level of preparation will be the single factor that determines your ultimate financial result. Dinar Shift reminds every viewer that in this environment, thorough preparation is the prerequisite for opportunity, and discipline is the key to destiny.